Torture is hands down one of the darkest things humans have ever come up with. It's all about causing insane pain, both on the body and in the mind. Throughout history, from medieval Europe to ancient empires, people invented wild ways to punish, scare, and force confessions. Some of these tortures were straight up brutal, leaving scars that lasted a lifetime. Learning about them shows just how cruel humans can be, and how strong people had to be to survive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more crazy, eye-opening stories. Strappado was a brutal medieval torture designed to dislocate shoulders and create unbearable pain. Victims' arms were tied behind their backs, sometimes with their knees tied as well. Then they were suspended mid-air, their entire body weight pulled on their joints, often tearing ligaments and causing permanent damage. The helplessness and fear made the agony even worse, and many were left conscious, fully aware of every moment. Torturers often used this method to extract confessions, punish defiance, or simply terrorize. The physical pain was matched by mental torment, as victims faced complete helplessness and the constant fear of further injury. Simple but terrifyingly effective, Strappado left long-lasting scars on both body and mind. Can one imagine enduring such excruciating pain without any hope of relief? The breaking wheel was one of the most terrifying public tortures in medieval Europe, designed to crush limbs while humiliating victims in front of crowds. Condemned people were tied tightly to a massive wheel, their arms and legs stretched out, leaving them completely vulnerable. Executioners would then systematically smash each limb using heavy iron bars or cudgels, slowly breaking bones in a deliberate and agonizing process. This wasn't a quick death. Sometimes the pain lasted for hours, even days, as broken arms and legs were painfully rearranged or threaded through the wheel's spokes. The spectacle of suffering was meant to terrorize onlookers, showing the consequences of defiance or crime. Victims experienced not just unbearable physical pain, but also extreme psychological torment, knowing their agony was on full display with no chance of escape. Death was not guaranteed, which made the punishment even crueler. Flaying was one of the most horrifying tortures in history, involving stripping the skin off a living person and leaving raw muscle and nerves exposed. The pain was immediate and unbearable because the skin is packed with some of the body's most sensitive nerves. Victims were often immobilized to prevent escape while torturers slowly peeled away their skin. Death frequently came from shock, blood loss, or infection, but even those who survived faced lifelong agony, scarring, and psychological trauma. Ancient Assyrians, Persians, and certain medieval European regimes used flaying not only as punishment, but also as a method of intimidation and asserting complete control over populations. It was meant to send a message that defiance or disobedience would be met with unimaginable pain. Flaying wasn't just physical torture, it was psychological warfare. Victims experienced sheer terror, helplessness, and horror as they watched their own bodies being destroyed. The Iron Maiden was a human-sized iron cabinet lined with spikes that pierced the body without instantly killing the victim. Pain was prolonged and agonizing, often lasting hours, while being trapped inside added mental terror. While the historical accuracy of widespread use is debated, it symbolized inescapable agony. Victims suffered both physically and psychologically, enduring immobilization and impalement simultaneously. The device combined confinement, piercing, and fear, showing how medieval torturers engineered maximum suffering. Every moment inside caused stress, panic, and pain, making it a uniquely cruel method of punishment. Survivors were forever scarred, physically and mentally. The Judas cradle caused excruciating pain using weight and pressure. Victims were placed on a pyramid-shaped seat with the point inserted into the anus or vagina. Gradual descent stretched and tore internal tissues, creating unbearable agony, Often permanent injuries and deep psychological trauma followed. Used mainly during the Spanish Inquisition, it forced confessions and punished defiance. Pain was relentless, constant, and impossible to avoid. This method showed how torturers used human anatomy to maximize suffering. The pear of anguish was a metal device inserted into the mouth, rectum, or vagina, gradually expanded by a screw mechanism. Flesh and internal tissues were ripped apart, producing extreme localized pain and permanent damage. Its historical prevalence is debated, but it became infamous as a symbol of medieval cruelty. Torturers used mechanical ingenuity to increase agony while terrifying the mind. Survivors often endured life-altering injuries, including disfigurement and chronic pain. The brazen bull was a horrifying ancient Greek torture device, a hollow bronze statue designed to roast victims alive. People were locked inside while fires burned beneath, slowly cooking them over hours. The screams of the victim were amplified through the bronze, turning them into terrifying, almost inhuman sounds that terrified everyone watching. The pain was extreme, burning, suffocation, and sheer helplessness combined into a nightmare experience. Fear made the agony even worse, as victims were fully aware of every second of their suffering. Onlookers were both horrified and fascinated, turning the execution into a public spectacle meant to instill obedience and terror. The device wasn't just about death, it was about demonstrating control and dominance over people. Thumbscrews crushed fingers or toes using a simple screw mechanism, gradually applying pressure until bones and nerves broke. The slow tightening made victims anticipate each surge of pain, creating extreme mental stress. Widely used in European inquisitions, they could permanently disable hands or feet, leaving survivors physically impaired. Even such a small device inflicted extraordinary suffering. Pain, fear, and helplessness combined to extract confessions or punish defiance. This method proves that extreme agony doesn't always require huge or elaborate devices. Sometimes simple mechanical ingenuity can inflict maximum torture and long-term damage. The scavenger's daughter compressed the victim's body into a tight, crouched position, bending knees and torso painfully. Bones were crushed, organs compressed, and breathing restricted, causing extreme suffering. Unlike stretching devices, it worked by compression trauma, inflicting both physical and mental agony. Used in Tudor England, it was the opposite of instruments like the rack. Immobilization and contortion ensured prolonged pain and permanent physical damage. Its unique method of compression made it particularly cruel, leaving victims incapacitated and traumatized. The combination of force, confinement, and mental torment made it a uniquely effective medieval torture device. Chinese water torture involved slowly dripping water onto the forehead or face over long periods. No immediate physical harm occurred, but mental suffering was extreme. The constant, unavoidable dripping caused panic, anxiety, hallucinations, and disorientation. Victims developed severe headaches and mental breakdowns. However appearing harmless, prolonged exposure created unbearable psychological pressure, forcing confessions or trauma without leaving visible marks. It proved that the mind could be tortured as effectively as the body. This method highlights the power of slow, relentless psychological torment, showing that patience and precision can create immense suffering over time. Looking at these 10 tortures shows just how far humans can go with cruelty and how creative they got in causing pain. From dismemberment and impalement to mental torment, these methods hit both body and mind. Torture wasn't just punishment, it was about fear and control, leaving deep scars on people and societies. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss any episode of our enthralling series. We can't wait to see you next time, so stay curious and get ready for the next exciting video. See you in the next video on Monday.